Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I'm live in shaky San Francisco. And yes, Jaloja. I had to Jaloja before I started the live stream. You caught me. How is everybody? How's it going? Okay. So you might have noticed that the last live stream is missing. Well, it's missing because of an oopsie. A Nerdrotic oopsie. We've got a Anson Mount oopsie, a Stephen Moffat oopsie, and a Nerdrotic oopsie. So sometimes when I talk to my friend, I have a couple of friends who are in the entertainment industry, and they tell me stuff. And usually they tell me beforehand, they say, you cannot say this, and you can say this. Sometimes they tell me stuff and don't say anything, so I ask. On this one, I asked, and I was told it was okay. Then later, I was told it wasn't okay. So for these, I think there were 700 people at the time, which is amazing, who heard it. So you heard it, and there's nothing I can do. You heard it, and do with what you like. We're gonna get some kind of announcement soon on what I blabbed about, but yeah. So they asked nicely, because normally I would tell them tough shit. I mean, this is what I do. I talk on a mic. I am not a news source. And the reason I'm not is because you have to have standards and stuff. I don't want to have standards. I really don't. I'm just a guy with a mic who spouts some opinions, and you can believe them or you're not, and because they're just opinions. That's what they are. If I pass on stuff from insiders, listen, with the Star Trek insiders, one of them I absolutely know, and one of them I don't really know. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like I said in the video, I just present to you, my friends here who subscribe to the channel, and welcome to all the new subscribers, just what I think about stuff. We're certainly going to talk more about that with Star Trek Discovery. But yeah, with that thing, it was a friend. So, they asked nicely. So I took it. There's an audio version at nerdrotic.com that you can go check out. Usually, but in the future, I'm telling everybody, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to pull a live stream that had 700 plus people watching and a bunch of super chats and people who wanted to watch it later. Not doing that again. So, because I kind of took it in the shorts on that one. That one did very, very well. That was one of the better performing live streams I've had. So it really sucked to pull it. But sometimes you got to pull out, it's just the way it is. Apologies to my patrons. Yesterday, we did not have a Patreon Nooner because Mrs. Nerdrotic just got home. So I haven't seen her in a week. So we hung out. We hung out. It had a good day. And and then I also last night I made that Star Trek video. So how's it going, everybody? Yes, something was brought to my attention. It's an old Stephen Moffat article, and it's a very short article that I'm going to be doing a completely separate video on eventually that we'll be talking about, because he said something that I can't believe. Maybe at the time he got in tons of trouble, but this is the kind of thing, if you said it now, he would get ran out of London, I think, because it was an honest statement that I've got to 100% back them off on. And Moffat is certainly one of the guilty parties for making Doctor Who extra PC. And there's another article, this could be part of my video, that points out like every single time Doctor Who was political over its 55 years, and it's a long ass list. The problem with the list, and I will share this in the video, is it runs to extremes. Like when Ace beats the Dalek with the baseball bat, that was somehow anti-patriarchy. I don't know how they got to that conclusion. I think it was simply just Ace beating the crap out of a Dalek with a baseball bat because she'd had enough. And it was a great scene, by the way. One of the very few in the later Sylvester McCoy era. I like Sylvester McCoy. I do. I definitely like him. You didn't miss anything, Ryan. I just started. How's it going, everybody? So let me get situated here. I had to grub. I had to pound some food. I pounded it. Sorry. That's my bad Patrick Warburton impression from the Orville. Yeah, I had to eat. See, if I eat beforehand, I can go longer. It's usually around the second hour. You can probably hear my stomach growling. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. So, how is it? Man, we got everybody here. So, Cato Roan, Paul Kane, Mako, Trinoculus P, Simon Marino, Best Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton, Eddie from Space, Willie Woodward, Jibba Jabba FPV, FPV, Rebecca Gold, Jody Shittaker is here. Where's Chris Chimballs? Bryce 11544, Halam 899. That's Star Wars Girl. What's up? First time catching it live. Hey, I was watching your live stream the other night. The action figures one. That was very well done, by the way. Well done. Thomas Preston, Penn Farm Girl, the Mighty Wrench. How are you? And the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. What's up? I'm sure Mary Ashmead is in here somewhere. What's going on, Mako? I don't have standards. Gary, 2019. That's Gary, 1969 through 2019, Mako. You can quote me on that. I don't have standards. Guidelines. I have guidelines. Rules are so full of rules and strict. The filthy news. I am doing fantastic. Yeah, I'm trying to like back up. I did this in the last video, Rebecca. Yeah, it's good that you noticed. I'm trying to back up to show more room and less me because my room is way more interesting. Ooh, you know, guys, know what I got today? This is awesome. I was in Walgreens and I got Kirk. That's awesome. McFarlane Kirk. So now I have the Picard and the Kirk. But I'm not a Star Trek fan. Not at all. Chris Chinball said, will you be my best man when we tie the knot? Yeah, absolutely. I'll marry you in the honor of season 11. We will use the Doctor's religion, which is what's the Doctor's religion again? Hope. Hope is a religion. Hope is not a religion. Hope is not a strategy. Okay, let's just keep that clear. But yeah, I'll marry you guys. Man, so quickly. I mean, maybe you should date a little while, live together, see if you get along, you know, just saying. Willie Woodward hung out at Brown Chicken Brown Cow. Yes, Brown Chicken Bow Bow. Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It's been a week, bruh. What's up, Comics Division? How's it going, Jason Remington? Ryan Fitzpatrick, Avon Vonier. Man, there is a lot of people here. And what is the DJD show here too as well? That's good. So we had an earthquake. It was very small, but it felt big because it was close. So I was actually chatting away on the Anti-Trickers live stream and my house shook, but no action figures fell down. So it's not a major earthquake unless an action figure falls down. The last time an action figure fell down was the Napa earthquake. I think it was 5 years ago. That was a good one. My dogs are a little spooked though, so you might hear them barking a lot. Do they have any OG Spock figures at Walgreens? That's Blue 42. No, as a matter of fact, that is part of the coming soon. And I did want you to notice a face on the back there. Mikey Spock and Spock together. So I was a little triggered when I saw that, but it is not coming out. This is part of McFarlane was licensed to do stuff. They were going to do a phaser and then they backed out, but they ended up doing the figures because they want to make money. They want to actually make money. So yeah, Star Trek Discovery, lots of crap going on. So to get caught up with the brouhaha with Mecha, I'm not totally on top of everything with that. I just saw what was going on Twitter. So one of the sons of a former actor who is now deceased from Star Trek attacked a fellow YouTuber. Can't see, there are my dogs going nuts. Yeah, it was like with violence. So the guy was probably, this is just my speculation, doing a little drunk posting on Facebook, which is very very ill-advised. Don't do that. It's not, don't drink and drive, and don't drink and post. That's as old as the internet. But he said some pretty nasty things and threatened violence. So that's not okay to men or women ever. From either side, by the way, we're just arguing over TV shows, and let's continue to just keep it at the arguing level. So yeah, I guess he apologized, which is good. It's good to apologize, and probably said he didn't mean it. And I don't know what's going on from there, but yeah, Mecca has every right to defend herself and do what she needs to do, in my opinion. And it's good to see other YouTubers came to the defense. But yeah, that's part of YouTubing too. We get it all the time, but that is way too far. So pump the brakes there, son. Or he's probably older than me, but I feel bad, like I don't really go after people. That's not a thing. I'll go after their, like Alex Kurtzman and Chris Chibnall based on their writing and what their work. I'm not going to go off their looks or anything like that. I don't do that. But yeah, that sucked. So I'm glad he apologized. Is it over now? I'm not really sure. So I guess that it's up to random on that one, because, if she accepts the apology, which she doesn't have to, you don't have to, especially when like teeth are being threatened to be knocked out. I mean, I doubt it was actually going to happen, but still, I mean, come on, dude. To a lady, no less, again, man or woman, it's not cool to do that. So I didn't know what else was going on, because I was kind of out of it yesterday. And I go on my Twitter this morning, and holy shit. It's weird how it goes in waves. Like, honestly, I haven't done a Doctor Who video in a few days. So something hit somebody and they're adding at me. And, sometimes I'm still a Twitter idiot, so I can't see what the original post said, or I have to dig for it. And I don't really want to. So yeah, it's pretty funny. But that's going to be part of my next video. So, hey, at least it's material. He claims a friend used his account. Oh, not that one. The hunky chunky funky monkey. That's the dog ate my homework. Come on. To post it wasn't him. Straight out of the bully playbook. Also falsely claims to be working with her friends to help her dying channel. I don't think her channel is dying. So yeah, false flagging people too is definitely not cool, especially when this is their job. But you know what? That goes with the territory. It happens to all of us. I have been, this was when I was a very tiny channel, so it didn't totally kill the channel. It almost made me want to walk away from it, but I didn't. I went through the 90 days with no live streaming. That's when we only had like a couple hundred subscribers. So it was like not that big a deal, really. And I learned a lot from that. It also hurts you in the recommendations, by the way. It's not just live streaming. When you get a strike, your status goes down and you don't get recommended as much. Now, YouTube is pretty good at sniffing out false flags, but you still have to go through the appeal process, and it still puts your channel in kind of a kerfuffle, for lack of a better word. Random tried to take the high road. That's good. But sometimes, you know what? You can't. You're forced not to. I mean, it's tempting as hell not to. I mean, like, come on. I may or may not have had somebody make a video about me use like half the video's got my stuff in it. He's got my stuff on the thumbnail, and I just, you know what? I don't want to give him attention. I really don't. But I'm not going to say that I'm going to take the high road every time. It depends. It depends on the situation. That's but Harley's little sister, Gary, off topic. There's nothing off topic here, Harley. Do your kids show interest in all the stuff you have in that room? And if not, where will it all go down the line? My kids played with some of these, and I reclaimed them when they lost interest. So some of these toys are from personal collections. Some of them are left over from the comic store, and some are action figures that, like, my youngest grew up in a comic store. So once a week he was allowed to open an action figure and play with it. And, I ended up getting him back and making it art. Some of it was my old Star Wars collection, which I'm giving to my patrons. because I am done with Star Wars. So yeah. So that's the story. And believe me, this is nothing. I'm in the process of rotating it. I brought back up my Daleks, and I got to find. I think I'm going to hang them from the ceiling. I think I'm going to hang. I have like 100 Daleks. I'm going to hang from the ceiling. So I had to buy a bunch of hooks. It takes a lot of time, and dusting this place sucks. I was chatting with Michael Okudo yesterday. He told me he was working on a non-Trek series about planetary stuff and other faraway galaxy stuff. I wonder what I don't know what that is. A planetary like the comic book Planetary, because that would be cool. That is one property that needs to be picked up, is Planetary. That is a great comic book. It's one of my all-time faves. So what is my favorite toy collectible thing that in my room? Oh, I have to pick a favorite. Probably my my Mego Iron Man, because that one is like has been mine since I was a kid, and you can't even see it. It's over there. What are your thoughts on Young Justice season 3 up to now? Very good. It's amazing. It's amazing. Do we ever? When I eventually get my review out, it's just going to be a love fest. Yeah, BBC Doctor Who staff will have to learn to code. And maybe I could bring that. I got to get close here. Okay. Thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way, Rolo Cat. I just hi back, and let's get to. Oh man, I got to get to my. Oh no, I got it bookmarked. I got it bookmarked here. Hang on, just a second. I got to pull up another browser. My crappy Chrome browser, and there it is. Yeah, this is fun. Again, this is from December of 2017, so it is old. It is seriously old, but I think it's very topical now. Somebody posted it in my Twitter. Okay. Can you guys see that? Oh, look at Jason Momoa. Aqua Dude. All right. Yeah, so that headline says it all right there. Stephen Moffat on not casting a female Doctor Who lead sooner. This isn't a show exclusively for progressive liberals. Now, I am not. We have progressive liberals in the chat. No problem with you whatsoever. I don't think he's really going hard enough with that statement, because it's gone beyond just a show for progressive liberals. Why? Well, I was talking to a room full of progressive liberals at a comic shop the last couple days ago, when I was watching. My friend Derek was doing a signing for his comic Oliver with Gary Whitta. So I got in a couple conversations about Doctor Who, and people have seen the videos and stuff, and these were progressive liberals. And it's not just this is also for people who voted Brexit, which is most certainly is. I can't believe, maybe he did get heat for this. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe it's a good sign if he didn't get heat for this. I mean, because you absolutely should not. Saying this, and I can't believe I didn't catch this sooner, but I caught it when I caught it. And it's honestly, it's here. We'll even go down his statement here, because he kind of backs off on it, but he's right. Long-serving Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat is departing the series, as we know, and Chris Capaldi's Doctor transform into the show's first female heroine. What? Yeah, the person on Twitter pointed this out. The Doctor transforms into the show's first female heroine. Okay, so the writer just hasn't seen any Doctor Who. The first female heroine was in the first goddamn episode of Doctor Who, for F's sake. Okay. Jesus Christ, people. And that's part of the reason what's going on here. And it's part of the BS with Captain Marvel. And, like, listen, with Wonder Woman's marketing, it made sense because what Wonder Woman is like I'm not going to say the very first, but the first well-known female superhero, iconic. It's Superman. She's right up there with Superman and Batman. Okay, so rolling out with the first marketing is totally okay, in my opinion, with Wonder Woman. Fine, no problem. And Wonder Woman was a pretty good movie. Had kind of a weak third act, but Gail Gadot, awesome. And Patty Jenkins did a very good job directing the movie. So I'm looking forward to the sequel. I actually am. And she was also the better part of Superman versus Batman, or I'm sorry, it's Batman versus Superman. I hate that Superman got second billing in his own sequel. It's kind of lame. Okay, whatever. Speaking to Radio Times should know better, by the way. I mean, practically a public relations firm for Doctor Who. Moffat said he was considering following Matt Smith's Doctor with a Woman, but couldn't resist the casting of Capaldi. We could have replaced Matt Smith with a woman, given the Doctor was more sexless and less of a lad. But then I got obsessed with seeing Capaldi in the TARDIS. I think that answer is partially true. I also think he didn't want to deal with what Chris Chibnall's dealing with now. I think Moffat is smart. Okay. He doesn't regret the decision, however, and said, well, he better not. I wish, you know what he needs to regret? The crappy writing you gave him, Moff. He doesn't regret the decision, however, and said he was mindful of the Daily Mail reading viewers concerned that a gender swap regeneration wouldn't be consistent with the character. This show isn't exclusively for progressive liberals. It's also a show for people who voted Brexit. That's not me politically at all, but we have to keep everyone on board. Is there anything wrong with saying that? I don't think so. And I think if we heard somebody from the current regime of Doctor Who say that, I think that would go a long way to mending fences, if you're interested at all in mending fences, which they're not. Which they're clearly not, because they're still in denial about this thing. When you see my video, you'll see the article that pretty much points out all the times the Doctor has been political. And again, they stretch things to where every time practically a woman shows up, it is some form of a feminist, it's some form of a feminist statement. Every time a woman, says hello, that was political. When a woman showed up on the TARDIS, that was political. I mean, it's like, come on. What a surprisingly rational statement, says Loquacious Primate. I know, but it was from a couple of years ago. Things have changed since then. Most definitely. Doctor Who is just late to the party. That's simply what's going on here. They were not paying attention. And these franchise owners really should look over the fence once in a while and see how their neighbor is doing. And if anybody had paid attention to Marvel Comics, I think Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who would have maybe done things differently, but they all charged right ahead because they weren't paying attention. They pay very little attention to us fans, which, for the most part is good, to be honest with you. I mean, honestly, we want to be left alone. Let us do our fan thing and try not to insert yourself. Sometimes they do, and it's fine. Sometimes they don't, and it's, well, you get what happened a couple days ago. Have you seen a Doctor Who Reddit ideas for spinoffs? Some really good ideas there. I read it on Google. Rebecca Gold, I will check it out. It's been a while since I've been on a Doctor Who Reddit. I'll be honest with you. I can't stomach them most of the time now. The whole fandom is just over the last year and a half too has changed quite a bit. So yeah. R.I.P. STD, says Alam 899. Well, we'll get to that. It may or may not be. So we don't know. We don't know. Peter Quinn says, night all. It's 9 p.m. and I have to be up in the morning. Thanks again. Hey, Peter, thank you. You take care. Have a good sleep. Catch it in the video or not. It's cool. The Filthy News, if you're interested, check out Dealt on Netflix. It's about Richard Turner and the great card. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah. George B. Pryor, thank you for the $5 Australian. Good morning. Watching you on my way to work. Great way to start the day. Hey, brilliant. Have a great day at work, George. Don't work too hard, but don't work too little. And go get that money. Go get that money. That's cool. That's cool to hear. It's morning in Australia. It's still kind of morning here. A little bit. I got to get my, it's just easier if I do this. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm actually working my way over. I have a chair behind me, right? So this chair behind me is supposed to be what my podcasting chair is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a comfy chair. So when I do big, long live streams, I can just sit in a comfy chair. And that's what we're going to move our way to doing that sometimes, not all the time. Blake 7 has a delicious female villain called Survalin. I have not seen Blake 7. That is on the many things to do. It's morning tomorrow, says the Gothfather. Oh, that's right. You're in the future. My wife was over in your time zone for a little while. I love it when people say this. Nerdrotic, I think you're right. I don't hear it enough. The creatives need to strike a balance between appeasing fans and their own vision. On one end is fan fiction. On the other is stuff like STD. Exactly. Okay, so no, you don't want to do everything the fans want. Hell no. Okay, that's why there's the whole saying of fan service. Listen, collectively, we can be a bunch of, whiny little brats, myself included. But we're the ones who pay for everything. We're the ones who love the stuff, and we're the reason it's here. We're the reason it still exists. Star Trek Discovery, Doctor Who in particular, have both made a conscious decision that they want to choose their fans. You don't choose your fans. All right. Your fans are your fans. And if you want to ignore or get rid of one part of your fan base because they don't agree with you creatively, I mean, that used to not bother creatives at all. I think part of the problem is we're way more connected. So a lot of the creatives could just, basically just be cut off from it. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. But you know what? You can turn off your Twitter. You can block people. You can, yeah. If I was a creative and I was working on a show, the last thing I would be on is Facebook and Twitter. Their time sucks, and I would be focused on my show. I would be 1000% focused on my show. And then you go into Twitter later when it's all done and see what people think. Thank you, DJ D Show. Yeah, hit that like button, please. It's -23 in Chicago. But if I burn all the bad scripts from season 11 of Doctor Who and Discovery, I'll stay toasty warm. Yes, you will. As a matter of fact, our good friend Bulls Trek, a great channel, by the way. Go subscribe to him. We've gotten a little friendly on Twitter, and hopefully we're going to do a live stream together soon. I like him a lot. He suggested that I burn season 11 on Blu-ray. I might. A lot of people got mad at me for burning Star Trek Discovery. That thing was hard to burn. Honestly, the discs barely. I mean, those things are really fireproof. I doused that thing with lighter fluid, and the discs, I mean, honestly, you could still play them when we were done. Yeah, it goes. They thought there was a fan base and they could do whatever they wanted, not knowing how badly the fan base would reject the crap when they were warned not to do it. Miles, exactly. Warned repeatedly. Don't do this. Don't make this decision. It was easy for me to pick out when I saw my two sons' reactions. Okay, both Doctor Who fans. And listen, that's where if you want to get down to the seed of my resentment, that's where it is I used to sit down on Saturday and watch a Doctor Who episode with my boys. It was like the one time we hung out, you know, and it was just good dad son time. Mrs. Nerdrotic hates Doctor Who, so it's fine. The thing is, though, she hates it more now. So that got taken away when they made the decision. Both my sons got up and went, okay, well, I'm done, and it was that simple. And they were done. They didn't even bother watching this season, and yeah, God, it's -1. It is it's rather warm here today, to be honest with you. It's a little bit of earthquake weather. It's very dry, but I think we got some rain coming. Yeah, it was a 2.8 earthquake, by the way, but it was two miles from my house. Yeah, 60 degrees here. Idiotic tirades. Yes, it is. Brian Fuller was fired for warning them. He was, well, Miles, actually, I have a little info on that. Brian Fuller was forced out. Okay, now file this under rumor. As I said in my video, everything I get from my inside sources, one, I do not know. I only know him from DM. He is a source for other people. Okay, and he's been correct with these other people. So I decided to run with some of his information, not all, just some, as a rumor. That's all it is. That being said, while I was on the live stream, we were kind of pinging each other day before yesterday, and I had asked about the Fuller thing. I had read somewhere that he was fired over discussions of canon. Not true. Not exactly true. So the black female lead was his idea. Perfectly fine. Nobody has a problem with this. Never had. But Michael Burnham, the name Michael Burnham, I don't know. I heard from one person that was his idea, one person it wasn't. But everything you see now is Alex Kurtzman, and it was basically Kurtzman and the two writers that ended up getting fired, forcing Brian Fuller out. And it was and this, again, this is just what I'm observing. Just look around. Bad Robot is trying to insert themselves on all the major franchises. You know, they're in on Christ. They're in a very loose way in on American Gods right now. They're in on Westworld. They're in on Star Wars. But you know where their offices are? Paramount. Yeah, J.J. Abrams is supposed to be working for Paramount, supposed to be making movies for Paramount. So he still has offices on Paramount, yet he's working for Star Wars and has his buddy injected into Star Trek that has the full Bad Robot aesthetic, yet there's still people out there going, Bad Robot's not involved. Well, if you watch my Blu-ray reviews videos, Kurtzman says it, right? If you watch the special features on Star Trek Discovery, Kurtzman says, I brought all of the special effects people over from the films so they would look cinematic and also look exactly like the movies. They didn't need to make them look like the movies at all. They don't have to, but unless they have to adhere to their license. And that's the mantra that my insider's been telling me over and over again is they have to adhere to this license. Just look at the new Star Trek uniforms. Okay. The ones that are supposed to be matching the original series. They have they're basically put on like a button up. The yellow is a little darker, a little more like this actually. And yeah, the collar looks different. Everything looks about 25% different. And yeah, the Enterprise looks about 25% different. Everything looks about 25. The Klingons look 100% stupid, but at least with hair, I mean, I'll have to see, man. I'm like, when this Klingon stuff comes up, that's probably gonna be a tipping point. Did you guys see the promotional picture for next week's episode? Did you see Man Bun Tyler? Man Bun Tyler. Yeah, see, that's the thing about the man bun. And for any of you out there who did the man bun thing, stop. Okay, it's just simply stop. It's the mullet of the 2000 whatever our decade's called. It's really just not a good look. Okay, you're not a samurai. If you're a samurai, the man bun looks damn good. Okay, I'll give you that. You know, if you're Japanese, totally, yes, no problem. Everybody else, no, just no, don't do it. I'm going to try to find those promo shots here because they were funny. And Laurel looks like totally different. Oh God. Oh my God. I mean, remaking your animated movies, Disney. Just why don't you walk around with a t-shirt that says, I am officially out of ideas. I will work for ideas. For real. I'm going to knock something down here. And, oh my God, what's the name of the next week's episode? I forgot now. I mean, I just want, no, I don't want to go to, I don't want to go to CBS All Access. Oh, hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, folks. Track. I can't remember where I saw it now. So I have to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, it's just it looked terrible. It looked awful. So the name of the episode is Point of Light. There we go. Point of Light. Oh, there's the that's just, it fills my heart full of romance and excitement when I see Man Bun Tyler. Are we going to get more Klingon sex? And somebody did ask the right question. What happened to his other little Tyler? Did it get compressed into one giant Tyler, or does he still have the two Tylers? Was he still able to please Laurel? Did I say Laurella? Laurel. Is it me, or did she change color? Okay, maybe it just looks, maybe it's the palette, but are we going to get another Klingon sex scene? Are we? I mean, I almost kind of want one. Don't you? Just especially okay, for those of you who saw it, did you hear like the cat sex thing going on? Yeah. Oh man. It's so bad. I got some super chats to get to. It's so bad. I'm just remembering whose idea was that? They have never had a Klingon sex scene in Star Trek. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Get those Gilmore Girl writers to do it. They'll do it. Oh man. Okay. Alan Macy for $5. Oh, you already told me this, but I'll repeat it anyway. He gave me $5 to tell me he's effing cold, but he's going to burn the scripts. I wonder if can you still find scripts at Drew's Scriptorama? Is that still a website? That I remember going to that website like in the 90s. Mary Ashmead for $2. Glad your action figures stayed up. Effing earthquakes. I know, right? They knock over my action figures. But we will rebuild. We will rebuild. It wasn't funny at my friend's house. It was in Napa when that earthquake hit, and it looked when an earthquake hits your house, it shakes everything into the middle of the room. So whatever's on the peripheral of your room ends up in a big pile in the center if you're like over the epicenter. So my friend Derek, the co-creator of The Boys and Happy and stuff, his house got completely effed up in the earthquake in Napa a few years back, and he had a ton of collectibles, but he's doing okay now. Derek's doing good now. Fast 400, hashtag Fast 400. 50 Swedish crowns. Is it crowns? I'm still trying to figure out how DS9 was all white cis male show. Love from Sweden. Me too. Like how is that? Maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe I missed something. Yeah. That's the thing. That whole first marketing I was talking about, they were really playing that heavy in the Star Trek Discovery Blu-rays too, about how diverse and progressive. Now they did at least say the show has always been that way. It is the one show that has always been that way. It is the one show that at the time was doing crazy shit for the time. The thing is, they want all the accolades of what people did in the 60s without there actually being the same thing going on. Okay, because the 60s were bad, and it's really not now. Things are bad, but it's like normal bad. I think things are pretty good personally. I know, but I don't watch the news, so I'm perfectly happy. I just go about my day. Unless you talk to a San Franciscan, they're always mad about something. And they're really grumpy up here. That's kind of a surprise when I moved up here because I'm from San Diego, so I'm from SoCal. We're a little laid back. I didn't really fit in there either, but yeah, when I got up here, I thought people were like kind of like mellow hippies, and no, they're all uptight. It's like mini New York. Peter Davison from Australia. Again, I have to say hello to Mrs. Davison, your lovely mother. Do you have a safe address for koala for a koala? Yes, I do. I have a safe for my koala. Yes, I need a koala first. If you're asking, I don't have an address. Well, I don't have a PO box yet. I'm working on that. I guess in the meantime, you could send stuff to the salon if people want to send stuff, and I can get you. I mean, it's a public address. All right, so it's a business. So I don't think it'd be that crazy to know where it is, but you never know. Chris Blake, $5. Time to go pick up my kid from school. Thanks for what you do, Gary, and hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Well, thank you, Chris Blake. And yeah, go get that little bugger from school. Mine's got a couple more hours, and tell him, give him my best. Thank you so much for the kind words and the $5, and drive safe and have a great day. See you again. Chris Danellon for Canadian $10. It's good to hear from Canada. Will you be reviewing? Oh God, I love this question. Will you be reviewing The Expanse season 4 when it comes out? If so, I am totally looking forward to it. The Expanse, antibiotics for STD. Chris DeLeon, The Expanse is my favorite show, and it's actually the one thing that propelled this channel up to, like thousands. So I was the first to find out that The Expanse had been canceled, and I did a quick live stream at like 11 o'clock at night, and the next morning it had 40,000 views, and that's the first video I had ever do that much. And I was part of the whole Save Expanse thing, and I did videos reporting on it. Doomcock was involved, and me and Doomcock were working together, and Doomcock actually got did really good with helping it as well. So and so did other channels. James Hancock was part of that, and he was covering The Expanse. Like, not a ton of people were covering The Expanse at the time, so I have to give a shout out to all channels who were covering it. I can recommend it to every channel. If you want to cover, I don't care about competition. I want every channel to cover The Expanse. It's the best show. I want it to get tons of views. I want it to be known as the best show on television, because it kind of is. It's the best sci-fi for sure. And it definitely has the best black female first officer. I say it again and again. Dominic Tipper, who I gotta admit I might have a little crush on, but Naomi Nagata. Naomi and Bobby Draper. She's pretty awesome too. Yeah. And it's made in Canada. It's made in Canada. So, and you know what? Damn good shows are made in Canada. Like Battlestar Galactica was made in Canada. Now, unfortunately, they make some CW shows in Canada, but could you guys revoke their visas? Is there any way you could do that? You would have a bunch of empty hallways. That's for sure. Yeah, there you go. JPRPH1 for $9.99. Sorry about you getting hassled. I was late to the Nooner. You took it down. I'm sorry. Hey, so I missed it all. I know you have a vid today, but could you briefly recap? Miss a little, miss you. I gotta what does it say? Miss a little, miss a little, you miss a lot, I guess. Okay, well, no. So recap what I've said so far. We talked about Stephen Moffat saying that Doctor Who is not just for progressive liberals. I know. Oh my God. And you know what? Listen, I don't think I'm not that big of a channel. Okay. I even had second thoughts about making the video because, like, is this going to get him heat? I don't want to give him heat for saying something that I respect the hell out of him for saying. We need to hear that from more creatives, please. That needs to start going around. We are not making shows just for one set of people. It's ridiculous. And no, I don't want it made for the other set of people. Listen, I come at life. I used to be I used to own a small business. So yeah, I want to do, I will accept money from everybody. Everybody. And I also want to talk to everybody. I don't want to like leave people out of the conversation. And I certainly don't want this attitude going around that we're right and they're wrong, because that is the kind of crap that leads to some really nasty stuff. All right. That's the bottom line on that one. If one side just thinks they're freaking right all the time and they're the good guys, they usually end up being the bad guys. And I don't care what that falls on. God, there used to be, oh man, I'm blanking. There used to be a great quote for that I'm completely blanking. So I'm not going to talk about it right now until I remember it. Brent Newman, 5 pounds. If Kling orcs have 2 dongs, are they called dong dong or ding dong? Asking for a friend. Cheers, Gary. They're actually called ding dong ding dong. That's the official term. That's scientific. It's in the Star Trek encyclopedia. I just put it there. Could somebody edit the Wikipedia page to say that, please? So ding dong ding dong. Fast 400 hashtag fast 400. 50 more Swedish crowns. I think it's because the captain had no fro. They are making up for it, according to my insiders and Mikey's little fro. Salon is good. Peter Davison, can you contact me through Twitter on my DMs? Hit me up. If not, nerdrotics@gmail.com. So plural, nerdrotics. And if you guys want to send me anything, DM me on Twitter or nerdrotics@gmail.com. My email will be changing. I will let you know. It's going to be like a month though. It's going to be something like Gary@nerdrotic.com or something like that, but that's not it yet. Okay. Tharies, 2 pounds. Made a vid on top YouTubers. You were there. Hey, thanks, Tharies. I'm glad to see I was there. I wasn't the top though. Come on, man. I'm just kidding. No, you should make yourself the top. All right. Like really shout yourself out. That's part of YouTubing. I think the common trait with all YouTubers is we didn't get enough attention as children. So we all became very good at getting attention. I mean, my dad ignored the shit out of me. So yeah, I was that kid who was all dad. He was like, yeah, son. There's actually a picture I always put up Father's Day that like exemplifies our relationship, and it's him reading a paper, completely ignoring me, trying to talk to him. It's okay though. He was great. I love he's gone now, but I love my dad. Having The Expanse filmed in Canada balances out the fact that STD is filmed here too. Long live The Expanse. Chris Persia, my condolences that it's filmed there, but at least they're not filming now. And yes, The Expanse it completely eclipses Star Trek Discovery in every single way. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The catering is better on The Expanse. The janitor staff at the studio is better. And that's not even like talking down. Okay. I bet you that janitor staff makes freaking bank. All right. So, they listen, if you work for the city and you're a janitor here in San Francisco, you're set for life. For life. Excuse me. Yes, we love The Expanse. All hail The Expanse. Did you know Tom Baker, Doctor Who novel called The Scratch Man? Did it come out? If it came out, I will get it and review it. I knew it was coming out, Amy. Thank you so much, Amy Johnson, for the $5. I will buy it if it's out. Should I check that right now? There is a couple books I'm going to be reviewing. Now, of course, if Winds of Winter ever drops, I will be reviewing that chapter by chapter. The Expanse, the next Expanse book is coming in about a month and a week, folks. I will be reviewing that. I still have to catch up on 2 Expanse book reviews. If you look deep in my channel, I have the Expanse book reviews. It's basically me and a few of my friends talking about it on a live stream. That's all they are. But thank you for the super chats. Let's get back to the regular chat. Well, the other super chat. We'll just say that. I don't like to say regular. You guys aren't regular. I'm going to go down further. Proof that catering on the Expanse is indeed better. there's actually a proof for that. Here, let's see. The season 4 wrap party had an amazing view. Oh, I got to show you guys this. See, it actually is better. I was kind of joking, but now I'm not. Everything on the Expanse is better. Thank you, DJ D Show, man. That's some good producing right there, brother. Thank you. Look at that. The season 4 wrap party had an amazing view. Big thanks to the staff at Tour CN Tower for an amazing night. That looks, whoa, look at that. Rocinante. Oh, it's a ice sculpted Rocinante. That is brilliant. I need that, but I want it to be crystal. I don't want it to be ice. That's ice, right? Or maybe it's crystal. I don't know. That's got to be ice. That's amazing. That is really cool. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. That is so freaking cool. Well done. I can't wait. I don't know if Belinda's out there listening. Belinda, that's my go-to lady for the Expanse. She is lovely, talented, and just the biggest damn Expanse fan in the world. If you're listening, do we have any idea like when the show's going to come out? My guess is June. If it wrapped and they still got to do post, it's at least 3 months of post. When is Book 8 coming out? March 20, the last Tuesday in March. I think it's 23rd or 26th. 20 ice nice baby. That's right, Blue Cat 42. The Expanse does rock. So what I would like to do, so I was worried that they weren't going to release the Expanse weekly, but apparently they might. So that's good. Then yes, I will be covering every episode weekly. Every episode. We will do what we're doing with Star Trek Discovery. So I'll do a live, and then I'll do a short video for people who don't want to watch the live streams. My apologies for getting my Orville review out super late. Usually those are supposed to drop on Friday. I didn't have time. So, but yes, Star Trek Discovery and the Orville, we cover those live after they air every Thursday. For now, Star Trek Discovery gets priority, but in time, I'm going to flip that because I just can't take it anymore. The worst part about it is, man, just so many people like think because the episode was less bad that it was good. Now, I will freely admit that this season is 1,000 times better than season 1. It's still bad, but it's better than season 1. Season 1 was just awful. Oh man, it's hard enough. I was going through my recaps of, we recapped every episode of season 1. And I was going through there because I was trying to look for my, Spock predictions to put into a video, and I found them. And God, the people in the chat, I completely forgot how the people in the chat were predicting the show 3 or 4 episodes out. We had one guy, Langley Neely, predict pretty much everything like he was part of the show. Like I almost think he was part of the show, but he was in our chat going, "This is going to happen," and it happened. It was very impressive. Right, we got a couple more super chats. Thanks again, DJ D. I appreciate you. Kevin W. Clark. Yeah, the thing is, the Expanse is partly shot at Pinewood, Toronto, same as STD. Ugh. Pinewood, Toronto. That's a big facility, though. So. Yeah, I was watching the Expanse special features, and they were showing the building of all the sets. It is crazy how fast they do that. And how good they make them look, and how bad they look on Star Trek. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Damon Reed for £5. Hey, has CBS and Bad Reboot forgot about a little series called Star Trek Voyager? with awesome female that were actors that were iconic. Yes. Damon, it's pretty clear when you see the special features reviews that none of the actors and some of the writers even went and watched maybe more than my guess is a couple episodes from each. And they still ran. Listen, they do this on purpose. We all know this. So they ran purposely with, we're going to really play with the woman card and the first black female first officer. I mean, like, she's not even in command. Although she is. I mean, she's telling Pike what to do 2 episodes in a row. Yeah. No, Star Trek, to try this stuff with Star Trek, to try it with Doctor Who is ridiculous. First female heroine. Yeah, that's what it said in the article. That Jodie Whittaker was the show's first female heroine. I'm practically got 10 minutes of material from my video just on that one sentence. Are there no Gorham fans? You mean Gotham? Gotham fans? Wonder Girl 60s, are you talking about Gotham, the show Gotham? I like the show Gotham. I actually do. I think it's crazy as something that doesn't exist really in the Batman universe, and it's just this insane thing that's on its own. I like it. Yeah, I do. It's weird. You know what it's not? It's what the CW could be if you took away the feelings in hallways. It would be something entertaining. I know some people still like the CW shows, and that's fine. I dipped out because there was just too much talking about feelings in hallways, and it got pretty SJW, to be honest with you. This podcast was started on Arrow season 1. If you go way back to our second podcast, I'm throwing all kinds of love over Arrow season 1. I'm like, this is how you do a superhero show. This is great. And then Daredevil season 1 happened and ruined everything because it was so good. So, and it's still my favorite thing Marvel's done, period. Back to the chat. Take care, filthy. Yes, the Expanse rocks, says Pan Farm Girl. I am not regular. I'm unleaded. I saw what you did there. Okay, how am I going to say this? Mashinia? I can't even. Tell me how to pronounce your name. That was pretty funny, though. Your last 3 DMs from Bob. Okay. I will try. What about Batgirl? You mean Batwoman on CW? That's going to be a train wreck. Are you kidding me? That girl, what's her name, can't act. I saw her. I watched the Elseworlds thing, and I didn't hate it, but it was ridiculous. I mean, did you see the Batwoman thing? It was ridiculous. She had short, lesbian hair, and then she puts on the long red hair for part of the costume. Okay, great. And I know that's part of the thing. It's like, that's kind of a thing you can get away with in a comic book, and you might want to change in the TV show because it looked terrible. Yes, you know what? I am a bit particular when it comes to wigs because my wife's really good at making them. And she's better than anybody I've seen in Hollywood. They should actually hire her. But as she says, she doesn't work in Hollywood because she doesn't want the pay cut. So Marvel, man, not DC. I like them both, Chucky. I do like them both. Well, I actually dislike them both as far as comic books right now because they stink. All hail Preacher. Jeffrey Massey. Preacher is a great show and a better comic book. But a great show. One of the greatest comic book series ever written. Did you hear that in the MCU, Uncle Ben doesn't exist? What? Secret Rebel? What? Is that true? Oh, man. I'm trying not to get triggered live on the air. That is very unfortunate. I will be doing a video if that is true. Thank you, Secret Rebel, or not thank you. I'm just kidding. Of course, thank you. Lubella, $5. It's my birthday this week. Can we discuss how awful Punisher season 2 is? It will be a catharsis for me. Lubella, I thought Iron Fist season 2 was the perfect example of what is wrong in Hollywood right now. But I could be wrong. It might be Punisher season 2. Yes, we can talk about it. We could talk about it on Friday. We will talk about it on Friday because I have things planned out for that. But Punisher season 2 was, it was bad. It was bad. Bird of Prey. What is up, Bird of Prey? $5. Heard your first Amazon order was in 1999. Can you beat February 5th, 1999? Kapla. Maybe not. I'd have to look into that, Bird of Prey. But I'll put it this way. My password until I changed it, which was last year, was 4 digits. That's how old my Amazon account was. I had a 4-digit password. Kapla. February 1999. Can you look back at all your orders? Can you really do that? I bet you I could. I'm trying to think. I know what book I got, but it was Michael Cremo. It was Michael Cremo, Forbidden Archaeology. And I just listened to an Art Bell, and I think I heard Art Bell mention there's a thing called Amazon, or maybe my ex-wife mentioned that. I don't know. Yeah, I was married before. Long story. DC is greater than Marvel, said Nyla Shed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the greatest, oldest fight known to pop culture, is DC versus Marvel. And there's nothing you can do to stop when it starts, to be honest with you. You just got to go with it. I was a Marvel guy first, but I've grown to love DC. The only reason I picked Marvel over DC is in the 70s, Marvel comics were cheaper by like a nickel. That's why I picked. How did the Titans ever turn out with Hooker Starfire? Well, Righteous Kill 45, Akiva Goldsman, the guy who brings you sonar in space and nipples on the batsuit. Okay, he's loosely related to nipples on the batsuit. I don't know if he's entirely responsible for nipples on the batsuit, but he was there. Okay, and is now the man who wrote Robin stabbing a guy in the nethers with a pair of scissors. Yeah, Akiva Goldsman should not be anywhere near anything genre. That should be a law. I think that should actually, somebody should run on that in the next election, and you would actually get my vote. No, why the bloody hell? I don't know. Thanks. Do you like any of the year one hardcovers? I do. Harley's Little Sister. I actually do. Yes, I like a lot of stuff. When it comes to comic books, I pretty much like most everything except for the latest. Spider-Man versus Superman, the best crossover comic ever, says Rebecca Gold. It was my first, but I'm going to say, Rebecca, like, I totally respect that decision, and it's really a fun comic, and I loved it to death. But which one? There's two. The first one and second, I like the second one a little better, but my favorite crossover personally is the Teen Titans and the X-Men. Dark Side, Dark Phoenix. That was the bomb. That one's fucking awesome. The Expanse is the best, KO. Any word on Prince Namor standalone? Jeffrey Massey, Kevin Feige did mention it 3 or 4 interviews ago that they have the rights worked out now. The rights were a hot mess because they belong to a little production company. And I guess they bought him out. So they are going to bring in Namor probably with the Fantastic Four, which is the best way to bring him in. I love the Namor character, but they got to make him kind of a villain. If you want him to stand out from come on. To see a live action supervillain team up with Doctor Doom and Namor, I would tears of nerd joy would just come out like a fountain from my face. The most recent episode of The Flash revealed that there's 221 Earths in the live action multiverse. How do you feel about that? As Silhouetted Animator. I think that's 221 too many from the CW universe. I would like to see a complete reality collapse of that universe and go over to the DC universe and start it fresh from there with the Doom Patrol, because I do like the Doom Patrol. That looks pretty fun. Goldsman, Kurtzman, I'm sensing a theme here.
They are super villains. Sean Tiberius Mononoke. By the way, my son's middle name is Tiberius, so hail to you, sir, for having a great middle name. And yeah, yes, and I named my son after Wolverine and Captain Kirk. Yep, I did. Logan Tiberius is his name. Titans to become good, they need to have Aquaman tone and Wonder Woman writing. Alam agreed, and I think that's actually going to happen. To be honest with you, I think they're going to course correct on that and turn things around. So I heard Galactus human giant version is not his true form because other civilizations depict him differently since he seems to appear differently to other space aliens. Broly, okay, I don't know what Marvel has retconned in the last few years, but before he was just a human, and then he turned into Galactus. There's an origin story behind it, and he was a giant dude. That's what he always has been. That's what now they might have changed that in the last 5 years that I am unaware of because I haven't totally kept up to date since I sold my comic shop. But the last thing I read about Galactus was he was a dude and he turned into a giant dude. And he lost all feeling or everything because he's a force of nature. He's not evil nor good. He is a shark. He he cleans up the universe. You know, it's his job. At least the CW universe is introducing 90s Flash and Smallville. Well, they did Destiny Captain in the Elseworlds, but they just did like the town. And yeah, seeing John Wesley Shipp as Flash, I'm not going to lie to you. That was awesome. That was freaking brilliant. I love that show. Is Namor a mutant at the moment? Last time I checked, yeah, unless they changed it. But honestly, since Secret War, I've stopped paying attention, Halam. I just don't care because they effectively ended the 616 at that point. And when they ended the 616, I was out. I was going to get back into it when I started the shop again, and I might. But if I start another shop, I might not be carrying any new comic books. The only new comic books I might be carrying are like Indiegogo ones. Because honestly, it's just going to be a toy collectible place where you can go play games, and then it'll be a studio for Nerdrotic. If that happens at all, right now I'm perfectly happy doing this. Do you think we'll ever get back to arguing about plot specifics and background lore? Oh my God, Elliot Nelson. This is the best question. I miss the nerd arguments of old. The new era of political preachy sci-fi is depressing. It totally is. And honestly, listen, if you go back to the channel, I didn't want to get involved in this at all, but it got so bad, you know, and this is what we all have to ask ourselves when, in that, you know, like we could just retort when people say, well, you're just being sensitive and no, it's not too political. It's always been political. I'm just like, I go, wait a minute. Okay. So you're saying my politics have changed in the last year because I've always been okay. I mean, to a certain extent with Doctor, I mean, honestly, the last 3 seasons have been kind of preachy and political, but it wasn't as bad as this season. So unless my politics have changed as a almost 50-year-old dude, no, I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I doubt the most of you, and I doubt that your politics have changed drastically in the last year or two. They're changing around us. That's what's happening. And no, we don't want to. God, I would love to be talking about who, like, is like them having a secret master again in Doctor Who, like who's the master? And you know what I really want to be talking about, Elliot? Who's going to be the next Doctor? I can't wait. I'm going to run that 24/7 when Jodie eventually announces she's leaving. I'm going to be on the air until they announce another Doctor because I'll be so excited about it. Because I know they will bring it back to, I mean, like, the chances are probably great that we'll get our first Black Doctor. Fine. I am totally okay with that. As long as it's a bloke. So fine. And then a new writer too. If it's still Chris Chibnall there, then screw it. Then I'm not part of that. But yeah, no, we will be live streaming the hell out of who the next Doctor is. Yeah, Jodie's not going to make it past season 12. That's my opinion, but she's not. You want to know why? Because they haven't denied it. There's been zero denial about Chris Chibnall and Jodie leaving after season 12. Now, the news died down a little bit, but I'm sure some of us could kick that back up again. You know what I'm saying? Other YouTubers. G2 economic migrant. Well, that really says it all right there in your thing. What's up, economic migrant? Waiting for the new Hulk movie starring Shaq painted green. We need to return to classic practical effects. That would be kind of cool if we got some big dude and painted him green. And yeah, it would. You know what? The Roger Corman Fantastic Four film, for all its crap, I like the thing. I like that thing costume. I'd love to have that freaking mask. Oh my God, that would be great. That would be great. I love the Fantastic Four so much, and I want them to be done right in the MCU. I just have a bad feeling. I really do. How's everybody doing today, man? I am feeling great. I had I polished off my Pete's coffee before I started the podcast and had something to eat, and oh, that's much better. So for you patrons out there, we're going to do like an after hours thing to make up for yesterday, because I completely blew off my Patreon nooner yesterday. Little as $1, you can join up for Patreon. We're changing our all the tiers are pretty much sold out, so we're changing them to make it cheaper. David Foskey, what did you miss? Everything. This has been the greatest live stream I've ever done. I mean, I can't even possibly repeat the greatness, and the chat is the greatest the chat has ever been. The super chats were the best super chats I've ever gotten. You missed it all. Just kidding. No, it's just me been blabbing about Doctor Who and Star Trek. You can actually rewind, if you want to. You just, that little red bar, you just take it back, and it'll rewind a little bit. I think there's some delay in that, but there you go. Shaq is my dad. Oh, that's awesome. So you must have like 900. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, kidding. He's not Cromartie from the Jets, who used to be a Charger, who has 8 kids with 8 different moms. Mario Cromartie, was it Mario Cromartie? Anthony Cromartie? Yeah, God, I can't remember now. I remember he used to play for the Chargers, intercepted Peyton Manning a bunch of times, and then had a bunch of kids and went to the Jets. Sorry, talking about sports ball. Dated a girl named Jody once, and it didn't end well. Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's some lovely Jodies out there. You know what? I'm sure Jodie Whittaker is perfectly fine when she's not stating that Doctor Who's not for white men anymore. Don't forget to lick that button. Please don't. Wash it off first, but then lick it. Yeah, hitting that like button certainly helps. Helps with the recommendations, helps the channel, and I need lots of help. I mean, just look at me. Epic trolling, says Goth Father. Who's epic trolling? I always miss the epic trolling. There is a new Doctor Who book out called Combat Magics. Guess what? No males on the cover, just the Doc and a policewoman. Well, that explains the magics. No, I'm just kidding, Rebecca. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, at this point, you break out the popcorn, you kick back, and you watch it crash and burn. And what's the theme of today? All this toxicity we were being accused of, that was a warning. We were trying to tell you not to slam, not to, crash your car into the wall. There's a giant wall coming. You're heading right to it at like 50 miles an hour. And we're like, dude, your seatbelt isn't on. You're going right towards that wall. You might want to pump the brakes. No, we're not, jerk. And then they hit the gas and they go slam into a wall. And there you are. That's where we're at. If they want to deny it and keep denying it, again, I mean, at least Ghostbusters, well, I thought they came correct, but maybe not. It's Kidbusters now. The Ghostbusters are casting kids. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, well. I think some franchises are going to come. I think maybe Star Wars is going to make an attempt. It's way too late, but I think they're going to make an attempt. It'll be interesting to see J.J. Abrams actually finish something, complete something, have a resolution to something, because that's something we haven't seen. I bet you the end of Star Wars, they find a box and it's empty. The end. Yeah. I always envisioned a Fantastic Four sci-fi TV show where Reed is taking them on adventures through space. Give them off Earth for at least get them off Earth for at least the first 2 seasons. Then in season 3, bring them back and doom. Bryce Douglas, that I would watch the crap out of that. That is such a brilliant. Yes. So me and my former co-host actually plotted out a Fantastic Four movie, and I thought it was quite good. And honestly, I think other people have come up with this idea, but we did this years ago. So to insert it in the MCU, but to make them first, and this is prior to all the retcon they're doing with Captain Marvel and stuff too, by the way. So in the 60s, the Fantastic Four were working for S.H.I.E.L.D. We're working with Nick Fury. They invented, or they found, the negative zone. Well, the whole family went into the negative zone. Now, this is partial. This kind of mixes in with Ultimate Fantastic Four and everything too. So that's where they get their powers, not them going to space. They go into the negative zone. But they get trapped. They don't get trapped there, but they get flung out and they are stuck in space. So for the last, we'll say 6 years, their time, they have been trying to get home. And by the time they get home, it is 2018. So they are technically the first family of Marvel. And they came first. And no, Shiri is not the smartest person in the MCU, because once Reed Richards hits, he's the smartest. The reason he's the smartest, I've said it before, it's part of his power. It's actually part of his power. His brain works in ways ours doesn't because of his stretching power. His brain can also, he gets full use of his brain and more. So, and Shiri's great, fine, whatever, I don't care. But I want it to be a real fast. Do not, you know what? Make them look like they did in the damn comics. Do not swap anything. You know what? If you want to have more diversity in the Marvel universe, just use some of the characters that they actually have, okay, and bring them on and build them up. Look, Falcon, a decent enough character in the comic books, kind of a blah character, really well done in the MCU, like much more interesting. Why? Because Anthony Mackie, right, like, is brilliant. And by the way, he's going to be in Altered Carbon season 2. Can't wait, because he's good. I like him. So yeah, and that's what you do. You make them look like they do in the comic books. Why? Because that's your brand. That's your brand. There's, I mean, like, listen, if you want to do it with Ben Grimm, I mean, that's kind of messed up because he's the Thing. But if you want to do it with Ben Grimm, that makes sense. That makes sense. Or, yeah, I mean, you can't, listen, Johnny and Sue have to be brother and sister, like real brother and sister. So, I mean, like maybe Reed Richards, I don't know. But I wanted David Tennant as Reed Richards, but I've heard better choices out there, and he's already done something for Marvel. And Mrs. Nerdrotic has a very good rule, even though it doesn't apply to Chris Evans, obviously, is once you've been in a superhero something, you can't do it again. You can't double dip. All right. So, we need to get new people in here. I am going to be doing a video eventually, because I think they're going to be casting a Brit for Batman. Now, Brits, I love you. I'm an Anglophile. I love the UK. I want to live in the UK. I want to die in the UK. Okay. God save the Queen. I fucking love the UK. Batman's American. Batman needs to be an American. I don't know why we keep casting Brits as American superheroes. Okay. Yeah. Superman, fine. He was good. Spider-Man is a Brit. Yeah. Batman was a Brit before. It was good. Was really good. Well, maybe I'm killing my own argument there. Maybe they're pretty good. I'm just saying we should probably get an American guy to be Batman. And I don't want it to be young, but they're going to go young again. And they're going to go do a damn origin again. And they're going to tell us year 1 again. It's like, God damn it, we had Batman Begins. And I know it's not exactly year 1, but listen, they did all the notes from year 1. And no, I want established Batman with Robin by his side, with fully established Bat villains that are the best villains in literature. Maybe I would say yes. Yeah. Damn it. Do not give me another Batman origin. I do not need to see the Waynes dying again. Those poor people. They've been through enough. How many times do we got to kill them? Make Batman an Aussie. There you go. If he's an Aussie, that's fine. Captain Britain. I heard they were going to do that, Eddie. I heard they're going to do that. You know who's doing it is Guy Ritchie. That's what I heard. Captain Britain would be the shit. But my favorite is Union Jack. Okay. I love Union Jack. He's like one of my favorite superheroes. And why? Because he's got like a badass costume. That's why. It's just a big old freaking Union Jack, and he's got a knife, and he's more the UK Captain America to me than Captain Britain. So let me show you a picture for those who don't know who Union Jack. I remember seeing him in the Invaders comic, and he was great. I just love the costume so much, and yeah, it's very basic. Yeah. Here's my boy, Union Jack. Yeah, I told you my Anglophile goes like way. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. That's Union Jack. That's a badass right there. Look at that. I'm gonna put the Union Jack on and a knife and a gun, and we're gonna go kick some ass. That's brilliant. So yeah, nothing against the Brits. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't start. I'm there for you. Okay, just I want my Batman to be like somebody, Jonathan Hamm maybe. You know what? God, my ex co-host used to, because I think he had kind of a crush on Anson Mount, but Anson Mount would have been actually a decent like TV Batman if they did a TV Batman, which is what I want. I don't even want a Batman movie anymore. I want a Batman almost procedural TV show where he's, being a detective. He's got Robin, he's got Alfred, a fully functional Batcave. He's been Batman for 10 years. Nobody's died yet, or he's not gone through anything. I mean, he's just being Batman in his absolute prime, because we haven't seen that. Maybe a little bit from the Burton version, but I mean, with Robin. Arkham has like half of his villains already locked up. Some are still escaping. You don't even need to start with the Joker. Build up to the Joker. Take a couple seasons to build up to the Joker. Fighting Hugo Strange. Get some of your like Z-list villains. That would be great. That show would be so badass. No feelings in hallways. No fights in hallways. Fights in hallways. And, maybe Bruce getting some once in a while, because get some Vicky Vale action going. Back Catwoman. Yeah, start the whole Catwoman thing. That could be your catalyst at the beginning. Like the first time he, meets Catwoman, or actually not the first time he fights her, but the first time he's like starts getting attracted to her. Like it was just that one. It's like that partner, that girl you've been around forever, and all of a sudden it just clicks. It's like, maybe I kind of like her. I know it's been like 3 years and she's been standing next to me the whole time, but maybe, just something clicks sometimes. So maybe they just have the right fight, and he's all, so what are you doing tonight? Something like that. That'd be great. Bat condoms. Yes. Union Jack fights Brexit supporters. I don't think the Union Jack would fight Brexit supporters. I think the Union Jack would fight for Brexit support. I'm just thinking, because like if you support Brexit, you're for the Union Jack. If you're against Brexit, you're for the I'm trying to figure this out. I could be wrong. You're for the EU, right? So I don't know. Are you saying that's what they would do in Marvel Comics? High Desert 004? Yes, that's exactly what they would do. Just like they have the Punisher, who is basically listen, I used to grow up. I grew up in a military town, so a place called Oceanside, where the Marines base were. Every single jarhead had a Punisher sticker on his truck, so he's like a symbol for that stuff. There will never be another Nolan verse. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Yeah, he's not coming back to that stuff. We are getting a Nolan movie in 2020. I don't know what it is, but they just said he's Patton Oswalt is Batman. He was a pretty good Penguin in that one video, Brad. Uh, yeah, EU Jack. There you go. Yeah, he just changes to EU Jack. And of course it's a woman though. He's got to change to a woman, and yeah. Stay. Nolan versus Gone. It is truly gone. And Punch Up. It's like you're giving me directions. Am I supposed to do something? Is there something behind me? Do I need to? Is there like somebody about to attack me? And they're like, "Don't move, Gary. If you turn around, you'll die. I'll give you directions." Okay, move your arm to the right. Punch up. No. Nolan Bane mask appeared in. Yes, it did in the Elseworlds. I agree. I saw it. EU Jackman. That made me laugh. I don't know why. Jodie Whittaker as EU Jack. There you go. That's a funny picture somebody needs to draw, like EU man, where he doesn't want to fight anybody. He just wants to write letters and talk about it. EU man. He starts committees. It's only called, oh, I did not know. Is that true? It's only called the Union Jack if at sea. If it's on land, it's called the Union Flag. That could be true. I don't know. I have no idea. Ewan McGregor as Union Jack. Hell yes. Oh, yes. Take my money. They're putting him in. He's going to be in Birds of Prey. Yeah, he's going to be in Birds of Prey playing the Black Mask. That should be interesting. Entropy Kid. Oh, I like that name, Entropy Kid. You know, my comic company is, when I actually used to produce comics, I used to be a publisher. It was called Entropy Comics. Do you think Ben Affleck should continue as Batman? Yes. Once he gets his stuff worked out. I want him to really get sober. Ben Affleck has to do 90 meetings in 90 days. Once he's done doing that, he has to have a year clean. Honestly, he shouldn't be involved since he's broken up with his wife, who's actually taking care of him still, because she's a good lady. And also the father of his kids. He should just focus on his recovery for a year before he does jack squat. And he should be like Robert Downey Jr., have an army of people around him making him sober. Because that's what Robert does. He's got like a yoga person. He's got like, that's what I heard anyway. He's got like a ton of people around him just making sure he stays clean. And that's what, if I had a ton of money, that'd be the first thing I did. I'd have an army of sponsors around me. Do you know of Josh Duhamel? No, I don't. I think he'd make a great Batman Bruce Wayne. I'll look it up. It might be somebody I recognize. I just don't know the name, Rich, off the top of my head. Josh Doom. Let me look it up. Josh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, what was he in? He was in something on NBC, Las Vegas. Yeah, he'd be a good Batman. For sure. It's very Hollywood handsome dude. Probably has no problem getting the ladies or the dudes, whatever he's into. Do Gotham is just a fun TV, in my opinion. No feelings in hallways. Well, not as much. Truth Apocalypse, I agreed. No, Gotham's good, is a fun show. I just don't cover it. I don't know why. Then can I be FU Batman or FU man? Says Turbo. Joe Turbo, yes, you can. You are officially designated by Nerdrotic as FU man. Okay, you got it. You ask and you shall receive. I heard that Henry Cavill has signed up to play Superman again, and the word on the street is that Ben Affleck might be back as Batman. Yeah, Rebecca, I heard the same thing as well, because everything was riding on Aquaman. Aquaman is a huge success and good. I liked it. I'm glad it was good. I've said it a million times. It didn't preach at me. It didn't have any PC garbage in it. It was just a freaking movie. And I was so happy. I'm like, wow, there's colors and I'm having a good time. And no, it's not going to win any awards, but I'm going to own this fucker in 4K and I'm going to watch it. And I loved it. And yay, DC is doing good. So yeah, I think they would be back. Henry's brother is a colonel in the Royal Marines. They probably come from good stock. They look like Troy Tempest, Australian, $2.99. Hand Kurtzman over to the Duras sisters. Hail Gary. Yes. Hand him over butt ass naked to the Duras sisters. And I love them, by the way. Forget Laurel. They're probably going to make her like their descendant or something, probably, because it's a small galaxy. If you want to see the most absolute stereotypical British superhero, and I totally agree, Nathan Norman, is Big Ben from the Powerpuff Girls. You should just look at the guy. It's amazing. Just his costume alone is amazing. No, hey, the Mrs. Nerdrotic loves the Powerpuff Girls. So yeah, I've watched a lot. Halam, you have a fan cast Instagram page. Oh man, I keep on saying that. I gotta really get on my Instagram. That's just one more thing to do. That is hilarious though. Yeah, man, Powerpuff Girls. That was pretty funny. Damn good show. Did I miss any? Yes. Oh, there we go. Okay. Back to some super chats. Strawberry Hellcat for $5. Have you done? Oh boy, my windows just went away. Have you done a video on the DVD reviews for season 11 on Amazon? Strawberry Hellcat. I was actually waiting on that. Yes, I'm going to do one. That is probably going to be part of me setting it on fire. I'm trying to space out the Doctor Who stuff. Listen, you got to please the algorithm. And the algorithm has told me, like, Star Trek's cool, but you got to do something Doctor Who at least once a week. So, the thing is, I'm going to have to start getting creative because a lot of stuff was just handed to me. And it's like, duh, I can do a video on that. But I am going to mix in, I'm going to start mixing in like, real reviews of my favorite Doctor Who stuff. Now that's going to be recorded video and me getting in depth on why I like them. And yeah, I'm just going to start out probably with Spearhead in Space and go from there. And there won't be any particular order. It's just going to be whatever I feel like watching and liking. And maybe it'd be something I could take a request on. You know what I'd love to hear requests on? Not right now, but I mean, you could throw it in here now if you want. The stuff I'm the weakest on is the first and second Doctor. Okay. I've seen everything out there that's available, but it's only a couple times. Like third Doctor and up, I've seen everything like multiple times. So I want to start getting way more into the first and second Doctor. And I know we got our friend Patrick Troughton is the best. So just tell me, not your obvious favorites, your favorites, and it could be ones that are available or not. I love the fact that they animated some. That is brilliant. Hopefully they can do that more. I'm not sure, but such a tragedy. They got rid of those. Honestly, if I were here to make a Fantastic Four TV show, I would really love it to star MF Doom, the rapper, as actual Doom and make it canon. That'd be kind of cool. I like that idea, but no. It sucks. Noah Hawley, who was working on Legion, was working on a Doctor Doom movie, but that is shelved now, which is too bad. So thank you for the $5 super chat, G2 Economic Migrant and Strawberry Hellcat. I do appreciate it. When's your birthday, Lubella? Happy birthday, by the way. Oh, you know what I didn't mention last live stream, but I got to mention now is okay. So I have a favorite movie from the 80s that probably is. I mean, if I watched it now, it probably is a giant piece of crap. But I loved Nightbreed. Um, I liked Hellraiser. I'm kind of a Clive Barker fan. But Nightbreed, for some reason, was just my favorite movie. I love the creature makeup. I love the concept of it. I love that the monsters weren't the bad guys, and it was actually David Cronenberg. And they're going to make a TV series now, so I'm really excited. Unless they put it on that fracking CW, or they make it with CW people and they put it on Netflix like Sabrina. And yeah, so that popped up. I don't have the article with me or anything, but Nightbreed TV show. I hope it's good because I love that movie so much. And I've seen it like 100 times. Back then, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I absolutely adore that movie. Union Jack versus EU Manchu. Mild peril. I think we're creating a comic here. I think we need to do EU Man. The Godfather, get Sean Pertwee to play him. That'd be interesting. Groundhog Day. I love Groundhog Day. Found your channel a few weeks back. Great job. Is there a place we can download the audio versions of your podcast? Well, Repo Bob. Is that in relation to Repo Man? A movie that I hold very dear to my heart, mainly for the soundtrack. But yes, I am glad you asked that question. Can one of my mods go to my website, and on the right hand side, there's the links, and you could either there's iTunes or there's Player FM. You got to get the app for Player FM. But yes, I'm on iTunes. Now, I did find something wrong, though. Apparently, some of my audio links were not being sent over the iTunes over the last 2 weeks. So I got to go through and fix all those. But they're all there for download. I'm pretty sure you can download the YouTube stuff too, right? Maybe you can only download it on YouTube, but feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to download anything and keep it and do what you like. That's fine. I don't mind. Thank you, Mako. So there you go. Repo Bob, those 2 links right there by Mako. But if you don't catch those, go to nerdrotic.com, look on the right, and there'll be 2 links there that you can download on iTunes. Yeah, it's on. Actually, if you go to Nerdrotic, 2 things pop up. It's a long story. Just pick one of them. And yeah, because I got to get rid of one. I just haven't gotten around to it. I honestly don't know anymore. You know what? That's where iTunes really screwed up. Is the great thing about YouTube is I know exactly who's watching. I can talk to you people. Why didn't iTunes invent something like that for podcasting, where you could start doing live active podcasting? You don't have to do anything visual. But that's why they're taking it in the shorts, because YouTube beat them to it with the whole interactive thing. This is the future, folks. Listen. CBS, the reason I made my video, the reason I present this stuff is you almost got to, don't feel sorry for CBS. All right. The 2 creative people I know who work in Hollywood have both been screwed over harder than any other friend I know. And that's because they work in Hollywood, and because that is the effing system there. So when one of us YouTubers goes out and we're critical of a company, and we might cost some jobs. Maybe. I doubt it. Don't feel sorry for anybody there. Let me give you a little story of my time in Hollywood and how people are creepy all the way down. Okay, there's some good people who work there, but the whole culture of that place is garbage. All right, and it's garbage because that's the way it's set up, and it really sucks. So it turns really good people into backstabbing, throat-cutting sharks, because that's how you survive there. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, you end up leaving. Like I did, because I don't. This is how I deal. I'm a very straight up, direct person. So when I have a problem with somebody, I will tell you. And if I don't want to deal with you anymore, I simply just won't deal with you. I won't bother. It's like, bye. Okay. But there's no need for me to go further with Like if I feel wronged by you, I'm not going to go after you or talk shit about you. But that is the way things go in Hollywood. So I had a temporary job at a place called Ascent Media. And I was supposed to be the nighttime chapterer. Alls I did, speaking of iTunes, I would go on the iTunes videos and I would title the chapters for movies. So you could click to the next chapter. And honestly, most of it, I mean, some of them had titles, but other times it was just chapter 1, chapter 2. So I manually typed all those in. So there was a nighttime guy and there was a daytime guy. The daytime guy, and this was a $16 an hour job that I took on top of owning the comic shop, because in a different city, because it was 2008 and we needed to make money. All right. My wife owned a business that just started out. The recession happened. It was crappy. So we needed to make money. So I took a second job in a field I kind of had some experience in, but I had to work my way up. So I took this crappy $16 an hour temporary job just to have some extra cash flowing in, right? Till I got my, Technicolor job. And I was chaptering videos for iTunes. Well, this daytime guy named Mike, I'll never forget Mike, thought I was there to take his job. So what did he do? Every night after I went and typed everything in, it took me a long time to realize this, and it wasn't until after I wasn't working there anymore I found out. He was going in and changing my work and effing it up on purpose, and then going to the boss and complaining about me. And of course, I never heard about this. I just kept on hearing that you had to redo your work. I'm all, why? What possibly could I be doing wrong? I'm typing chapter 1 and we go over it. And I'm like, this is weird. And later I found out the guy was going in and changing my work because he was worried he was going to lose his job. So he was fucking with mine. So don't feel sorry for a lot of people over there, because even in the $16 an hour realm, you got people backstabbing people. And believe me, that is the norm. That is not the rare occasion. That is the norm there. I worked there for, 2 to 3 years. I saw enough in post-production to where I was like, because like normally you deal with a guy, like the world I'm from, you deal with a guy like that. You take him out back, you slap him around a little bit, things are worked out, but you can't do that as adults. Okay. So, so you just don't deal with it. And you just go, okay, fine. He's petty. And, you feel sorry for somebody like that. It's like, really? A 16-hour dart, you're going to try to sabotage another human being. So you be on something that wasn't even true. That's the thing, is we were both working together. But you know what? He ended up getting what he wanted. He was so paranoid that he was going to lose his job. He eventually lost his job because I think he probably did it to the wrong person and got his ass fired. So there you go. That is the lesson in life. But don't feel sorry for anybody in Hollywood. Just don't. So when we come out critical of them, don't feel sorry for them. They are doing that to people every day. Both of my friends have been ripped off big time by people. I mean, actual real money, like money that could buy houses, that kind of ripped off. Don't feel sorry for anybody down there. It's a conscious decision to work there. All right. So reboot of Lost in Space in 1999. What about it? It's bad. It was written by Akiva Goldsman, right? Or Space 1999. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Yes. Reboot Space 1999 to Space 2999, and you would make me very happy. I love Space 1999. You used to work as a post-production company as a graphic assistant. It's pretty fun working at these places. It is, when you're not dealing with these cutthroat a-holes, but Technicolor was fun. I had a lot of fun working at Technicolor. It really does make me wonder if Kurtzman and some of the bad reboot alumni are a lot like Mike. They are. That's what's happening right now, is they're infiltrating these franchises. Like I said, like a malware virus. Like listen, J.J. Abrams is a very shrewd business person, and he wants power. Look at every move he's made. It's a strategic move to get power, not just money. He's got plenty of money. He does not need any more money, but he's trying to get this huge deal going. And you notice like every other director, well, not every, but most of the directors, when they got to his level, wanted to go do their own thing. You know, Steven Spielberg wanted to create his own studio. Zoetrope, George Lucas wanted to do, and they, you know what? The only person who's ever really been able to pull that off is Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez has his own little place down in Texas. And it's because he doesn't want to change the world. He just wants to do his own thing. Really respect the shit out of that. But J.J. Abrams doesn't want to do that. He wants to get paid. And I mean, listen, I'm not blaming the guy. He's just nowhere near the talent of a Steven Spielberg or even a Robert Rodriguez. Yes, you heard me say it right there. I think Robert Rodriguez is a better director than J.J. Abrams by a mile, by a country mile. I would like to see a Spider-Man story where he goes on holiday to Holland and can't find a tall building to swing from. That's right. That'd be great. Gary, did I miss your talk about working in the auto industry? Yeah, I used to work in the auto industry. That was a long time ago. Well, actually, I worked at Tesla for recently. Yeah. But I've worked in the entertainment industry, the auto industry. I've owned my own businesses. Demon in a Bottle story for an Iron Man movie. Yes. Gil Baval for $1.99. Hey, I did a contest at my comic store. When Iron Man 1 came out, I did a drunk Iron Man costume. So we set up a diorama with a dresser and everything to recreate the Demon in the Bottle cover. And a bunch of people came in, men and women. It was so funny. The women came in with like the mustache painted on, and bonus points if you rode the train and you really were drunk. And yeah, I'll pop those pictures up on Twitter sometime. They're hilarious. And you won passes to Iron Man. So it's the drunk Iron Man contest. I love Demon in a Bottle. Breaking news, says Miles, for STD merchandise, Fanset just announced a 3-year contract for merchandise. Who is Fanset? What kind of merchandise? Is it like 3D print merchandise, or is it like actual merchandise? Let me take a look. Let's take a look. Here they are. Oh, it's tchotchkes. Yeah, these are like little pens and stuff. So that's not like actual action figures. Here, I'll show you everybody. This is like little stuff that I would sell at my a little impulse buy. I would call it an impulse buy. Actually, I have a bunch of these. They gave these away for free at Comic-Con in our Comic-Con bag. So I have a Batman one, a Green Arrow one, and a Flash one. So these are pins basically. And that's probably part of their Star Trek on order. There you go. What I'm waiting for is action figures. We'll see what that, but hey, thanks Miles. Appreciate it. Appreciate the 411, my friend. Check out stream.me for streaming, just in case the left-wing fanatics decide to kill your channel. Hey, thanks. You can also check out nerdrotic.com. But I will for me for streaming. Yeah, I haven't gone over to Twitch yet. I don't like the interface over there very much, but maybe I should. I don't know. Should I have a second place to go? Well, nerdrotic.com. I can go live from there. It is possible. So just remember that if something happens, if something does indeed happen. So I'm a lifelong Trekkie, and I didn't even mind the darker, faster visual of STD, but I agree that the fact that the show isn't true ensemble and turns Michael into Burnham into a superhero, basically. Yeah, Joanne, there's a lot of things I could deal with. The aesthetic is one of them. I'd be fine with the aesthetic if they just did a straight up, it's an ensemble Trek. We're doing something new. We're not stepping on the past at all. And our arguments are done. It's two different things with me. For Doctor Who, when it really gets down to it, it's the bad writing. Now, you pretty much flipped a character that didn't need to be flipped. If you wanted to do a female Time Lord, there's nothing in the world that says you couldn't have done a Romana show or something like that. No, but they didn't think a woman was marketable enough. So they used a label built by men and put it on a woman and saw that as a empowering act. And I'm here to tell you it's anything but. It's absolutely anything but. An empowering act is Wonder Woman. You built that character from scratch and you built it up, and it was built up by everybody. Everybody read it, not just women. And that's the thing, is you're making Doctor Who for just women right now. For just women. When it was a show for everybody. And that was the whole point of what Stephen Moffat said. And I will be doing a video on that. Star Trek, it's a whole different thing. Star Trek is like, I'm not even a canon fanatic. Okay. Like if you want to mess with a couple things, I don't really care. And believe me, Star Trek has done it a lot. But Spock is oh man, what, like, that is deliberate, and it's really sinister, and it's lame. On top of everything, it's just lame. With Doctor Who, I could have been won over with good writing if they just simply had. If you have good writing, it really takes a lot of the teeth out of our arguments. But with both of these shows, the writing just sucks. There is no writing in the world that can make me okay with Michael Burnham being related to Spock. Period. They need to erase that immediately, or they need to turn this Star Trek, put it in a different reality. If you put it in a different reality, fine. And you want to go from there, fine. I won't watch it. It'll still suck, but fine. I'm okay with that. It would explain a lot. And it's certainly, I think that's what they wanted to do. And at the last minute, they decided that they needed the old fans to actually carry this thing. So whatever. I gotta just check on, make sure I didn't miss any. There we go. Okay, good. Getting back to the chat, to the other super chat. Hi, there you are. Let's go down here. Star Trek Elseworlds. Yes. Make it, that's what I kind of thought they were doing with this whole, they did Star Trek 2009 was, if you're reading Marvel Comics, it was like ultimate Star Trek. And I was kind of okay with it. And I talked about the Countdown comic book, which is very good, by the way. And it gives kind of the last time you look at Picard. Now, I was reading yesterday that people were asked if that comic was indeed canon. Some people said it was, but the guys who actually wrote it said they would not be that presumptuous, which I really love, that kind of respect being shown to Star Trek. So they say it's not. But I bet you, because OOPSIE and Kurtzman plotted that comic, Kurtzman's going to use it because it was his. Of course you would use your own stuff. You're going to think it's the best. Somebody needs to tell Kurtzman, though, his stuff really sucks. Use the end of saying Elseworld, where STD is a little boy's snow globe. There you go. And then it gets dropped. It's all inside Burnham's mind as she is unconscious after receiving the flash from the Klingon beacon. That would be great. That this all this is like a prison cell fever dream or something like that. One of the problems with STD is that the main character is a secondary character with zero personality. What genius decided a human raised by Vulcans was a good main character? Exactly, Antonio. Let's take a human and give her no personality and make her, so she's going to come off. Honestly, she's acting kind of like what a human would when raised by Vulcans. Arrogantly stuck up with a giant stick up her butt. Yeah, I want to follow that around. That's fun. But you know what? That's pretty much what Spock was. What the difference was Leonard Nimoy was charming. He was actually a charming person, and it shows through in his character, and he acted Spock as charming. So it wasn't really stuck up. He didn't have a stick up his butt. And even when he did, he didn't, and it all comes down to talent. but they were trying for a little while there to make it impossible to criticize somebody, because if you criticize somebody who's female or black or anything, you're an ist because they can't act. I'm like, I don't, but that's not going to happen. Sorry, Gary, my friends wants to know. Sorry, Gary, my friend wants to know if a Klingork faps, is it called a ding dong merrily on high? Sorry, I couldn't. Yes, it is. Again, edit Wikipedia right now. But it's actually no, you can't say two fisted. It's something, something like that. I can't think right now. You got to roll with that somewhere though. Thanks, Brent Newman. I think. You can do a series with the Ronnie or Romana. Agreed. Especially Romana, as she is in an alternate universe. Yes. And talk about her getting back. Or there's so many things you could have done. And I can't believe they haven't brought back that character. It's a great character. What the hell? I think they will eventually, right? I mean, didn't we always assume that, that's kind of a disappointment from all the new era. They haven't done that. Pike is not gay on Discovery. Don't spread the fake news. Who said he was gay? Yeah, he's not gay. One of the problems with STD is the main. I already read that one. We won't even get Fing Fang Foom. Hey, that's what you can call it when a Klingon is fapping. Brent, you can call it Fing Fang Foom. Who says we won't get Fing Fang Foom? That would be awesome. I want us to do. So I doubt that we'll ever see Demon in the Bottle. They can't even do the Mandarin right for Thor's sake, and no alcoholic Iron Man. Yeah, they were going there, but they changed that. They were definitely going there in Iron Man 2, and they changed that. Maybe they could sell Micro Burnham to. Oh yeah, that's not good. Maybe they can, but the problem is, aren't the Orions? Who's the matriarchal society now? I'm forgetting. I thought it was the Orions, but I could be wrong. Bring back the Pawns to Doctor Who, and I don't care who the Doctor is, says Mild Peril. I like the Pawns. I did. I do care who the Doctor is, though, strongly, because that's why I watch the show. When STD is canceled after the season, most of the cast will need to learn to code. But Sonequa Martin Green can get back to The Walking Dead as a zombie. You're right. That's funny. 99 Iron Duke. Well, what do you think is behind that tweet? Do you think they just saw a help wanted sign and they thought it'd be funny to go, hey, let's say we want to work at El Pollo Loco? Or do you think they were actually out of work because there hasn't been a decision made on season 3? And that is what the last insider I spoke to said, that no decision has been made for or against. It is still very much up in the air. I don't know. What do you think is up with that tweet? I thought it was very interesting. I think it's an oopsie. I think he did it, and then he went, and then if he went, shit, if I delete it, everybody will think it's real. So I'll just say, you got me. I was just fucking around. Nah. Haha. And we're left wondering, but why make that tweet? I guess he was being funny, but I was looking over his Twitter, and yeah, he was doing funny stuff. But it's odd timing. We'll just say. I'm not saying it's for sure at all, but it's odd timing. I'm fine with MCU actor Mandarin being taken over by the spirit of the real Mandarin. Didn't Hail to the King, the little short, didn't they allude to the fact that he might be like there might be a real Mandarin out there? I liked his portrayal of the Mandarin up until the flip. I thought it was pretty good. They'll never see me coming. Yes, Pike has a girlfriend in the cage. Well, and then there's Nathan. He's supposed to have some kind of a relationship with number one as well. Rebecca Romaine, who's dressed like a captain for some reason. She has pants on. Although sometimes the Orion Syndicate seems to outsiders like a patriarchal culture. In fact, the women. Yeah, so did I say I meant to say matriarchal. My bad. It is a matriarchal culture. That was my mistake. In fact, the women rule the society using psychology to manipulate males of most of humanoid species. Yep. I misspoke. I meant to say matriarchal. Mr. Sci-Fi Mark Zickery is a candidate to play the next Doctor. He should write and star in it. That would be fun. I would love it. I love Mr. Sci-Fi. Mark Zickery's cool. Go check out his channel. He's a good, really good dude. I don't know him. But my friend Doug got me his book when I was 12, and I read the shit out of the Twilight Zone Companion, because Twilight Zone is the single greatest written show ever on television, and no other show will even get close. Thank you, Penn Farm Girl. Number one always had pants. Did she? Maybe she did, Douglas Nelson. I'm trying to remember back to the because it was Roddenberry's wife, right? She was I can't blanking on her name now. I like to see Edward Norton as Batman. He's too skinny. If he yoked up, like big. Doug Jones, I mean, that's the hardest part to criticize Star Trek Discovery. I've met Doug Jones a couple times, like really nice guy. Night Gallery was amazing. High Desert 004. Another Rod Serling forever. Thank you, Rod effing Serling. Norton is too small. Yeah. Second wife. Thank you, Lee Crystal. Mark Zickery, this is true, Lamac, you're right. Mark Zickery wrote one of the best DS9 episodes ever, Far Beyond the Stars. Word. Yes, he did. He also wrote, he wrote a bunch of cartoons back in the 80s. He wrote Smurfs and stuff like that. I think it's brilliant. I have a bad feeling Tilly is going to turn out to be the Red Angel, which is stupid as fuck. Yeah, the Red Angel is stupid as hell. I hated to, I don't know if that theory shot down. Again, my source shot it down. I liked the Red Angel being Spock theory and unfucking the timeline. I'm like, please, but I think that's a lot of, fan wishing. It sounds like fan fiction to me, but man, I would eat that fan fiction up. I would accept Ethan Peck as Spock if he was fixing the timeline and then we never saw him again. Here's the deal, though. The danger of bringing in Anson Mount and Ethan Peck as Spock is they are going to completely outshine Burnham in her show, unless she's sitting there basically telling him what to do all the time, which is what's going to happen, which is going to make people freak out. And if you don't think that's going to happen, well, let's just watch. I could be wrong. Farin Tyre from the first Iron Man should have been the Mandarin. He was the one. Yeah. Nihilist Shadow, you're right. I kind of thought he would be the Mandarin. I was a little surprised when, he died in the movie, but Tilda Swinton as a female Doctor Who, and she would have been better than Jodie. Stallone needs to play Ted Wildcat Grant in a JSA movie. Yeah, that would be killer. 700 watching. That was great. We had over 700. We started talking about superheroes and Space Command. I like Space Command, Chucky. I wish I had the extra, $5,000 to own a piece of it, but nah. I'll crowdfund it. If he's got like smaller crowdfunding places, I'll give him like $100. Haley Atwell was rumored to be a doctor, Rebecca, but the fact, what I hear is there was a guy, and they decided to go with the girl. Like the other person was a guy, and I don't know who that guy was, but I heard it was a guy. Tilda is great. I wasn't crazy with her casting in Doctor Strange. She did a good job and everything, but the Ancient One should have been an old Asian guy. Sorry. That's the way it is in the the podcast. $5. What's up? Great show as always. Keeping free speech free in the YouTube universe. We enjoy what you do. Cheers. Thank you very much, Popcast, for $5. I appreciate it. We're all in this together, right? We're all in this together. I remember the original 70s series, Jason and Star Command. Yeah, Captain Robert A. Popcast. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $5. I was trying to get back over to the super chat, then I got jacked up there. What the hell happened? Oh, that's what the hell happened. Okay. What is it? $7,500 for Space Command. I mean, like for a piece of the show, if it gets picked up and then you get, you have interest in it. Yeah. But I mean, pretty much if you're going to give Mark Zickery that $7,500, you are giving him the $7,500. You are not going to get a penny back. And I think that's most people would think. And if I had that kind of money, I would certainly support him because I like him. But if he's got I'm sure he's got some like smaller crowdfunding thing where I can shoot him like $100 or something like that. I watch all his videos. I do. I support him on Twitter, on YouTube. And I recommend people to his channel. I think his Star Trek Discovery reviews are spot on. I mean, listen, I'm biased. I'm a human being. I'm not a critic. I'm not a writer. I'm not a news agency. I'm a dude with a microphone. I'm biased. He's not. And he used to write for Star Trek, and he knows somebody who's working on his show that works on their show, and he's still freaking critical. You want to know why? Because he's a true nerd. He's not a poser. He's a Hollywood writer, but it is not going to trump his nerd. And this is first generation nerd from like the early the early time of pop culture when it was rising in the 50s and the 60s. This guy came out and criticized Star Trek Discovery when he's buddies with Doug Jones. That's balls. That's major balls, and did it well. And wasn't too harsh on it, and like made sure to say, hey, this isn't the actor's fault. This is just the writing, but this just doesn't feel like Star Trek. And he questioned some pretty serious things that I missed. So yeah, Zickery. Yeah, he took it apart, but he was nice about it. He is golden age, and I dig the guy. I would love to talk to him someday. What are my thoughts on Rose Wilson and Slade Wilson being in Titan season 2? Halam, if Akiva Goldsman is not writing it, I'm all for it. But if we're just going to get Rose Wilson and Slade Wilson in street clothes walking around and talking about stuff and then powering up like once every 5 episodes, no, it's a waste of time. Edward Ide for $5. Thank you so much. No question. Ask me. You can ask me a question. Zick, thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you pop in a question, hit at Nerdrotic, and so I'll see it. Okay. Zickery pointed out that the last Discovery episode violated exactly what happened in Space Seed. He did. Well, the whole okay, we could talk about that. Zickery pointed out that Pike using General Order 1, which is the Prime Directive, was completely erroneous. Actually, Burnham was right. I hate to say that. They were Earth. They were people from Earth. They should have been taken to Earth or at least told. I understand why he did it because they were actually pretty happy. But except for that one guy, maybe you just take him with you. Why not? They took Saru. It's okay for Georgiou to take Saru, but not yeah. In the 2 pilots, the women wore pants, but beyond that, so the pilot, the cage that wasn't officially picked up or made canon until 1986, correct? Yeah, because you know what? I know it's officially canon stuff. I think of what I saw when I was a kid when I was watching Star Trek. Not the cage. The cage is it's not good. Okay. I mean, I've seen it. It's not good. The menagerie is good. That is good. What they did with it was awesome. I'm sorry, Hunter was a good looking dude, but had no presence whatsoever for me. Anyway, maybe he would have developed it. It's very sad that he died so early, but I mean, William, I mean, things happen for a reason. I mean, Shatner's charisma, you know, that's going to go through time and space. His charisma, it will last longer than he will. His charisma will remain on this planet being awesome even after he's gone. There's very few people who have the charisma of William Shatner. That is godlike charisma. Star Trek. Okay. Foxabilla for £2 asked the question that's on everybody's mind. Star Trek threesome, Troy, obvious. Who is your third? I'm not going to be typical. I'm not going to say a 7 of 9. Okay. I'm just not going to go there, even though that is the obvious answer. Anson Rowe. Anson Rowe. I like him a little rough around the edges. I do. Plus Bajorans, ridge noses do it for me. No, I'm just kidding. Ensign Rowe. I liked Ensign Rowe. I was a big fan. Weren't the military in the eugenics wars powered by cocaine, not unlike Snowflame? Or was that just a post-atomic war? I know I was powered by cocaine, Nathan Norman, in my eugenics war, my personal eugenics war in the 80s. I was powered by lots of cocaine and meth and other things. Dax. I don't know. I got a problem with Dax. I mean, like, okay, listen, Dax, well, you're talking about Dax in that form. There's things to think about there with Dax. Okay. Not that it's judgment if you're into Dax, but I like Ensign Rowe. But if you like Dax, that's cool. To Paul. Yeah, you know. Tasha Yar. Tasha Yar. Mild Peril. Oh, it was a long time ago. Mild Peril. Yes. Long time ago. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and addict. So. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen SC reviews. A woman trashes season 11. A lot of women have trashed season 11. A lot of women in here have trashed season 11. Which woman is it? No meth teeth. Well, the reason, okay, Kimber D, the reason I don't have meth teeth is because I didn't smoke it. I didn't smoke it or shoot it. I don't want to talk. Yeah, I snorted it. It was crank. So this was way back before whatever the kids are doing now. It's drugs are bad. Okay, don't do them. Yeah, what the kids are doing nowadays. Oof, wow. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, believe me, I take plenty of them. I drive some to sober living environments and sometimes to rehabs and sometimes to jail. So yeah, I see what they look like. Believe me, after a few days in jail, they look much better. You'll have to catch up on the phone. It's okay, because I got to wrap things up. It is time to wrap things up. And I'm going to go over to Patreon for a little teeny bit and do an after hours. And then I have to get on my next Doctor Who video. Like I said, the algorithm wants a Doctor Who video once a week. I must please the algorithm. Plus, I like doing them. I just flat out like doing them. But we will be doing another live stream Friday. All right. So Susan will be there. And we will talk about the Punisher. We're going to talk about more Doctor Who. There's some more Doctor Who's news coming that I gotta wait for it to get here, but I'm hearing some stuff. We'll probably talk about series 12, and how series 12 will probably look. The parallels between Star Trek Discovery and Doctor Who are very odd, and many, to the point where I almost need to make another video. I've already made one video on that, but I could make another one pretty easily. But yeah. So DJ, when it comes to other people's Doctor Who videos, I wait till they're out for weeks before I watch them, like from Bowles Trek or from SC Reviews, because I really don't want to accidentally pine off them, which could totally happen. And sometimes we come to the same conclusions independently, which means great minds think alike. But I like SC Reviews. I gave him a shout out one of my videos. I do. I gave a shout out to Clownfish TV and Bowles Trek, who's awesome, dude, and Dave Cullen, who shouted us out. When he shouted us out, holy crap, did we get a lot of subscribers. That was incredible. You want to talk about influence? Whoa. That's an influencer right there, that Dave Cullen. But it's good to see like Popcast in here. Like Popcast, we should like do a live stream sometime. I am all about getting people on the live streams and chatting. I think Bowles Trek, wouldn't you guys like to see Bowles Trek on this channel? I think he'd be, but yeah. And I haven't talked to Clownfish. I did briefly, but I would have them on if they want to come on. Yeah, I do love Dave Cullen. I actually have been watching him for quite some time. So yeah, so I would love to collaborate more. And of course we have Doomcock on. I mean, that's brilliant. Hail Doomcock, everybody. Please check out our Lax Exozone. I had so much fun doing that. And thanks for everybody for all the kind words about Exozone and everything. And if you guys continue to like it, we will continue to do it. So I think every couple weeks, get Doomcock to reveal his face. I would never get him to know. He should never, ever do that. I don't know who he is. And I honestly, I don't want to know. When is the Anas Abdeen interview? That is a very good question. Robin McDonald. I'm going to try to have it. He has to, okay, when I ask him questions, Robin, it has to go to his lawyers first. I only asked him a few basic questions, and I'm going to have a video. So when it does air, it will be a Thursday. Trust me, it'll be the day a Star Trek airs. So if not this Thursday, next Thursday. Okay, Robin? I asked him questions about all the discrepancies between his character descriptions and the characters in Discovery. It's not really about the questions of his discrepancies. You need to word it why they're lucky there is some discrepancies between the characters in Discovery and characters in tardigrades, because there's some characters that are exactly alike. Because those discrepancies to me, Robin, look purposeful to make it look like there's discrepancies. But the one thing we can ask Anas Abdeen is we can ask him when he thought of the blue tardigrade that travels in time and space, which he did. He thought of it, I believe, in 2014. And there was a timestamp on many of his posts creating this character. And that was right around the time when they were creating Star Trek Discovery. Brian Fuller had nothing to do with the tardigrade. The tardigrade came after Brian Fuller. And it came when they were desperate to get stories together because they were using Brian Fuller's scripts and they didn't have time to fully repurpose them. Again, this is rumor. But they were on a tight schedule because they were relying heavily on releasing Star Trek Discovery with the CBS All Access app, which they could not do, but Big Brother ended up doing pretty good for them. And then The Good Fight ended up doing pretty decent. But they thought they were going to do much better with Star Trek than they were, but they had to rush it. They had to bring in new writers. These writers needed ideas, possibly, maybe. They Googled tardigrade, saw Anas Abdeen's, and stole it. I think, in my opinion, that tardigrades was stolen from Anas Abdeen, in my opinion. When they were in a rush to come up with ideas, somebody I don't know, who probably does a lot of shrooms, got really into Paul Stamets and this whole fucking mushroom thing and did the mycelial network thing. And then I think, in my opinion, somebody went and Googled tardigrades and ripped off Anas Abdin's game in a Star Trek show. And honestly, is it the first time Star Trek has plagiarized anything over time? No, probably not. Probably not. There's this whole, Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5 thing we got to talk about. Honestly, I think we both win because by all means, they're both good. And I love DS9. But who came up with what first? I honestly don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in the CBS offices. I don't know. But on the surface, you're still ripping stuff off if the characters aren't exactly alike. My opinion. That's what I think. So that's how I'm going to leave it at that. But if we want to, if people want to take issue with the Nas, he's on Twitter. He'll answer your question. Be careful, because he'll answer your question. Nas takes no shit. A guy who takes on CBS takes no shit. That's why I like Anas. Anas is tough, dude. So hail Exozone. Justice for Anas Abdin. Please support him in any way, shape, or form you can. He has never asked for financial assistance. He has never settled for a settlement, for lack of a better word. Show your love for him on Twitter, just with the hashtag Justice for Anas. Because you know what? Taking on a big company and then taking on half the fandom who wants to attack the guy who was just sitting there creating his game. That's all he was doing. So Star Trek fans, whether you're a fan of Star Trek Discovery or not, when you go after Anas, listen, he would have done this against any TV show. It just happened to be Star Trek. So you might want to think about that when you go and attack him, because he's threatening the show you just like to watch that you might not actually have anything financially involved with at all. So there you go. But if you want to, fine. There will be some of us who will defend him, though. Just so you know. Just so you know. Yeah. I like Anas Mary is cool. He's a really good person. That's what makes this even more irritating. We'll just say that. All right, everybody. That's a nice little rant to end it with. Everybody, you have a great day. Thank you. Let me thank all the super chatters first before you go. Okay. I can't stop that tradition. Please go to Patreon if you like. I'm going to redo the tiers that, so they're cheaper. Basically, we're going to have a lot of cheap tiers, and you're just going to be able to get some stuff. There's going to be some t-shirts and stickers involved. And I know I've been promising Friday night, we will make some t-shirts available. So you got to tune in for Friday night. Okay, let's get Rolocat, George B. Pryor, Alan Massey, Mary Ashme. God, you do not have to give super chats, Mary. Fast 400, hashtag Fast 400. Peter Davidson and his mom, Chris Blake, Chris Danilon, JPRPH1, Brent Newman, Rolocat, Fast 400, hashtag Fast 400. Peter Davidson, Tharis, Chris Persia, Amy Johnson. Thanks again, Amy, for letting me know about the book. I will review that. Kevin W. Clark, Damon Reed, Wonder Girl 60s, Lubella, Bird of Prey, my friend, Bird of Prey. Good to see you from the Anti-Trekker. Bird of Prey's got a channel too, right? You have a channel? Go check it out. Elliot Nelson, G2 Economic Migrant, Starberry Hellcat, Troy Tempest, Mild Peril, Gil Bravel, Brent Newman, the Popcast. Go check out the Popcast. They have a channel too. A couple of guys doing a podcast. And yeah, it's good stuff. Kevin Schonenfeld, Edward Idle. Sorry, Edward, my bad. Foxabillo. Funny as hell question, Fox. Thank you for that being the last super chat. That way you can carry that one into the comments. Do you think I'm wrong about Ensign Rowe being my third in a three-way with Troy? Or do you think it should be somebody else? Let's hear about it in the comments in a very tasteful way, because you always want your three-way to be tasteful. I'm just saying, because it gets weird in the morning. It really does. Yeah. So never let it get weird. And thank you for being my nooner today. Will you be my nooner? And I will see you Friday night with Susan, Penn Farm Girl, DJ D Show, Mako, Johnny Pappas, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch, Movie Fanobi, Kato Roan, Mary Ashmead. Thank you for being the best mods a guy could ask for. DJ D Show, thank you for the producing today. I really appreciate it. Everybody, have a great day.